that, what's happening in crypto crew? Sean's coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video. We got a jam-packed video, a lot of things we're going over today. Getting straight into it, the Bitcoin price chart. If you're not a part of the Bitcoin Bros Patreon, you can join right here, the premium Patreon pass. You can find this link at bitcoinbros101.com or go to patreon.com/Bitcoin Bros. We posted this for our patrons a few days ago. So, we bring this to them first, we tell them our thoughts, and we also have some different trade setups that we don't talk about on the channel, but that's a different conversation for another day. But look at this here. We have lows, higher lows, and higher lows, and the price action uptrend is still intact. Bullish retest of the 20 moving average right here, confirmed. Right here, the RSI, putting in higher lows and higher lows. Could we get a little bit more pullback? Potentially, but as you see, this RSI uptrend is still intact. Once again, this is a buying opportunity. We've seen a 20% reduction in the price. Bitcoin was at 74,000 a couple weeks ago, and now is at 59,000, and people are scared by the fear. Update from TA Trader Allen. What he's showing you here is a retracement back up to the mid 60 to 70 range, and then trading sideways, just trading this channel, maybe having another fall down, putting in a higher low once again. So this pullback once again was an opportunity. And then what happens? We see that blast off going into the end of the year, into 2025, $100,000 plus. And he's also looking at the RSI below and the similarities from coming out the depths and stair-stepping our way up. We see this double top and then come down and put a double bottom in before having a rip up to the upside after getting that shakeout. Double top, and right now we have that double bottom once again. So we could get this retrace the same way we did right here. Trade sideways, put in a higher low once again, then it's off to the races. 2024 halving looks and feels similar to 2016. So check this out here. This is why we set this up, because this is a buying opportunity. We looked back in the charts, we test compared the history, he did too, but look at 2016 halving, they had a pullback 30%, and he was calling for a pullback, a 20% pullback, and that's exactly what happened, right, going into the halving. So right now, you have to ask yourself, if you're not buying and you're on the sidelines because you're fearful or you sold, what are you doing? An update from Tech Dev as well. The next impulsive structure says 90 to 100K is next. And what he's comparing this to is last cycle's run. You see this wedge pattern, you have this shell top that plays out B to C before ripping to the upside. Look at, you have this wedge pattern, shell top, B to C, ripping to the upside. And then we come up and then put in this double peak, double tap, retrace to the 0.382. Look at, retrace to the 0.382. And then what's next? We have this run up. And that run up could take us up towards $100,000 in the short to mid term. And look here, all this looks the same in the RSI as well, as far as the levels, the bottoming out structure, and everything. So you see we have this fake out right here, and then a rip to the upside. So once again, we've showed you that the RSI is still intact. So this is on the macro. He's looking on the daily, we're looking on the weekly. The weekly still looks good as well. And this is a major announcement from Jack Dorsey. Block announces that his company now will be buying Bitcoin every single month moving forward. Dylan Leclerc is saying the MicroStrategy copycats are coming. You see Block, who's going to be next? Are you going to see more companies starting to put Bitcoin on their balance sheets? That's what's coming. You beat that big wall of money, the ETFs are here, and then you're going to see more Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies globally putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. There's only 21 million, 3 million are locked up and lost forever. So really less than 18 million coins? Are you serious? Check out this clip we have right here.
I think you get a parade of endorsements. You're going to start getting 13F filings here in May, and you're going to see, a parade of famous investors and famous funds that started biting off a bit of Bitcoin, and that's going to change things. I think you're going to see more and more securities issuances, more ETFs. Then you're going to see more derivatives. You're going to see more public companies. I think you're going to see more Bitcoin miners. They're going to be announcing that they're not just mining Bitcoin, they're buying Bitcoin. I think you're going to see more good news coming from the clients of Square, right? And small, mid-sized businesses. You're going to see more of them. I think you're going to see more of the exchanges announcing that they're taking some systemic view. I think it'll be just bit by bit, every quarter, one more normalizing, program that builds Bitcoin into the capital structure of a private, a public company, a fund. You're going to see, I think, over the next 4 quarters, you'll see announcements from the big banks that they've approved Bitcoin ETFs for unsolicited sale. And it'll be one a quarter, and then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. And then you'll see announcements that it's marginable. And then you'll see, like you saw last week, a dozen funds at Morgan Stanley approved Bitcoin to be incorporated in the fund, and then a bunch at 2 at BlackRock. And I think you'll just start to see more and more of these things, and that will drive the news cycle. And then I think you'll see some of these small, mid-sized, these zombie companies. We've had CEOs of some of these companies reach out to us. I've had them reach out to me, and it's like, when you're stuck and mired and your options are worthless and you're worried about losing your employees and you want to put some life back into the company, you need to do a deal. I mean, at that point, it's very simple. You're either going to sell yourself, and the deal you're going to do is sell out to a bigger entity that can get value out of your product, or you're going to buy something or buy somebody, or it's either a merger of equals, or you're going to buy a small high growth thing, or you're going to sell out. Up until 2024, I don't think Bitcoin was an institutional option. The banks were afraid of it. Public companies were afraid of it. They didn't know which side the SEC would come down on it. I think by the end of 2024, I think the institutional world, the public company world, will say, well, Bitcoin's not going away. Bitcoin's the only crypto asset. It's the best. There is no second best. We're not going to get shot to have it on our balance sheet. And at that point, people switch from fear, or fear of doing something, to fear of not doing something, or maybe from fear to greed index, and they click it up a bit by bit. 2025 to 2028, those are kind of the years of early adoption. But good for us. It doesn't take much at this stage. It takes 2, 3, 5, 10 companies to act, and you kick off a roaring bull run. It doesn't take much to move Bitcoin from 60,000 to 150 or 200,000. When we get to 200,000, we're going to need 10x more capital to move it to the next level. But they'll be on stage with us then.
There's a latest from Saylor. He's saying you're going to see a parade of famous investors, funds, public companies, and more announce they're buying Bitcoin. It takes 2 to 10 companies to act, then you kick off a roaring bull run. So what he just referenced there, if you didn't get that, was $200,000 Bitcoin. For it to go 10x more, you need the big boys, maybe the Apples, the Amazons. But he said they'll be sitting there on stage with him. That's the big thing. They're coming. So to go from 200 to 2 million doesn't take long. And looking at MicroStrategy stock, we showed this with our Patreon members as well. This is a huge multi-decade head and shoulders pattern. If you zoom all the way out on these charts, we'll do this. Let's zoom all the way out on the chart. You see, this looks like a huge rounding bottom. We came up and retested this once and twice. This could be a huge cup and handle pattern. We won't get into this technical target, but zooming in to see where this inverse head and shoulders is playing out. We showed our patrons this in the short to midterm. You have this shoulder here, this head, this other shoulder, and look at this multi-year resistance that we broke through and now just back tested around this $1,100 mark. And this is going to be a bump and run with a technical target up to around $10,000 per share. Yes, we said that, $10,000. Look at the RSI. The RSI is intact, putting in higher highs and higher lows as well. This low is a higher low. This is a buying opportunity before the real fun begins. With that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. If you guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate the support. With that, that's all I have for you today, and I'm out.